Hey, fourth grade. Today's math lesson is lesson 12.11. You can find it in your Go Math book on page 487. It is patterns and measurement units. Essential question, how can you use patterns to write number pairs for measurement units? So this is the last lesson for the chapter. So tomorrow will be the chapter review, which will end chapter 12. Then we'll move on to chapter 13. So I'm going to attach this page to today's lesson and tomorrow's lesson because it's very handy, especially for tomorrow, because it has the vocabulary words and then the measurement equivalencies, the customary and the metric. So today you're going to be detectives and you're trying to figure out what the tables are representing. So they'll have the information filled out in the table and you'll have to decide, what are those measurement equivalencies? What are we trying to show with those relationships between those two number pairs? So this will be attached. Make sure you look at it because it will be very helpful to you in order to be detectives. Continuing on the top of page 487, patterns and measurement units, let's take a look at the connect. The table at the right relates yards and feet. You can think of the numbers in the table as number pairs. 1 and 3, 2 and 6, 3 and 9, 4 and 12, and 5 and 15 are number pairs. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So 1 and 3, 1 yard, 3 feet. 2 and 6, 2 yards is 6 feet. 3 and 9 are number pairs, 4 and 12, and 5 and 15. The number pairs show the relationship between yards and feet. 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, 2 yards is equal to 6 feet, 3 yards is equal to 9 feet, and so on. So these types of problems is what we will be trying to solve, to determine what are the measurement units that the table represents. So let's go ahead and unlock the problem real world. Lillian made the table below to relate 2 units of time. So you have to pay attention to what the units are. Now we're talking about 2 units of time. What units of time does the pattern in the table show? Use the relationship between the number pairs to label the columns of the table. So first of all, we're going to list the number pairs. So 1 and 7, 2 and 14, 3 and 21, 4 and 28, 5 and 35. Next, we are going to describe the relationship between the numbers in each pair. Well, looking at this column, you could see there's a pattern. The first column times 7 is 7. 2 times 7, 14. 3 times 7, 21. 4 times 7, 28. 5 times 7, 35. So the second number in each pair is 7 times as great as the first number. In each pair. Now, the last and final step is to label the columns of the table. So I have to think about what unit of time relates with this pattern. 1 times 7, 2 times 7, 3 times 7, so on. Well, I know there's 7 days in 1 week. So there would be 14 days in 2 weeks, 21 days in 3 weeks. So we can label this days and we could label this weeks. So the most important thing is to pay attention to what units, so this is 2 units of time, and what the pattern is, the relationship. And then you can figure out as detectives how to label the columns, the tables. All right, let's go ahead and look at 488 and practice some more. So try this. Jasper made the table below to relate 2 customary units of liquid. 2 customary units of liquid volume. What customary units of liquid volume does the pattern in the table show? So here's our table. They want us to first list the number pairs. So 1 and 4, 2 and 8, 3 and 12, 4 and 16, 5 and 20. Now we're going to describe the relationship between the numbers in each pair. So, looking here, 1 to 4, 2 to 8, 3 to 12, 4 to 16, 5 to 20. What can you confidently say is the pattern? So 1 to get to 4, 1 times 4, 2 times 4, 3 times 4, 4 times 4, 5 times 4. So the second number is 4 times the first number. All right, so now I'm going to use that sheet that I attached, and it's customary units of liquid volume. So I'm looking in the customary units, and it's 1 to 4. So I'm going to look through, make sure I have liquid volume. Oh, there's a couple of them we could do. This one and this one. I'm going to do gallons and quarts. If you choose the other one and you did that, that would be fine as well. So 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. 2 gallons equals 8 quarts. 3 gallons equals 12 quarts. So that example shows you that you could label it maybe in more than one way. So if you choose a correct relationship, you're going to have a correct answer. So here we go. What other units could you have used to label the columns of the table above? Well, if you looked at the chart again, it was the 1 quart and 4 cups. So we could have used quarts and cups. All right, I think this is fun. So let's take a look at share and show. The table shows a pattern for 2 units of time. So be careful that you know the units. Label the columns of the table with the units of time. So here we go. 1 and 24, 2 and 48, 3 and 72. So 1 times 24, 2 times 24, 3 times 24. So what unit of time is 24 times as great as another unit? Think about time. Think about time. Well, I know there's 24 hours in a day. So this could be hours. This could be days. So 1 day has 24 hours, 2 days has 48 hours, 3 days has 72 hours, and so on. Let's go ahead and look at number 2 on page 489. Each table shows a pattern for 2 customary units. Label the columns of the table. So it doesn't tell you whether it's liquid volume or what it is, but it just wants 2 customary units. So looking at this table, we've got 1, the pairs are 1 and 2, 2 and 4, 3 and 6, so times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Let's go ahead and look at our customary units. Well, I see a couple we could do. 1 pint is 2 cups. 1 quart is 2 pints. So you could just pick one of those, whatever one you want to do. Looking at number 3, customary units continued. Number pairs 1 and 16, 2 and 32, 3 and 48. So times 16 is our relationship. So what customary units have that relationship? 1 and 16. There's a couple of them. 1 pound equals 16 ounces, and 1 gallon equals 16 cups. So you choose what you would like to use. So I'm going to use pound and ounces. All right, on your own, we'll do this like we've been doing recently. I will give you a little bit of time to work, and then I will give you some feedback. So each table shows a pattern for 2 units of time. This is time now. 2 units of time. Label the columns of the table. So here's our first table, 1 and 60, 2 and 120. Second table, 1 and 12, 2 and 24, so on. So 2 units of time. Each table shows a pattern for 2 metric units of length. Label the columns of the table. So 1 and 10, 2 and 20, and this is 1 and 100, 2 and 200, and so on. And then number 8 lists the number pairs for the table in exercise 6. So put the pairs together. Describe the relationship between the numbers in each pair. So I'll give you a little bit of time to work on that. And then I'll give you some feedback. All right, looking at number 4, units of time, 2 units of time. So I think I can think of 2 different ways we could label this. So what do we have? 60 and 1. So I know there's 60 seconds in a minute, but I know there's 60 minutes in an hour, so you could do it either way. So I'm just going to do the seconds and minutes. But you could have done 60 minutes in an hour, so minutes an hour. Number 5, 1 and 12, 2 and 24. See, units of time. Well, I know there's 12 months in a year, so months and year. Now we're looking for 2 metric units of length. So the relationship is 1 and 10, 2 and 20, 3 and 30, 4 and 40. So looking at my metric units, there's several that I could use. I'm just going to use the 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. But if you did decimeters and centimeters or meters and decimeters, that's fine as well. So I'm going to label this millimeters. There's 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. But you could also do centimeters and decimeters or decimeters and meters. Moving on to number 7, 1 and 100. So looking at our metric units list, I just see 1. If you come up with another one, that's fine as well. We're just going to use the one that's listed. So 100 centimeters and 1 meter. This will be labeled centimeters. This will be labeled meters. So number 8, list the number of pairs for the table in exercise 6 and describe the relationship. So 1 and 10, 2 and 20, 3 and 30, 4 and 40, 5 and 50. And what is the relationship between the numbers in each pair? The second number is 10 times as great as the first number. All right, awesome. So for homework today, let's take a look. Homework is page 241 and 242. And because it's a small amount of problems, we're going to do all of page 241 and all of page 242. So both pages, front and back, all the problems. Thanks so much.